Welcome to Get Into It with Tami Roman. That's me. Hey, soulmates. Thanks for joining me tonight. Now, you know, I have another wonderful show coming up for you with my special guest and a reality TV alumni, Monique Samuels, who is a former housewife from the Real Housewives of Potomac. So you know you got to stick around for that, because I'm gonna try to talk to her about her real life, but I'm gonna try to get some tea too. You see, because I know what y'all want. So I'm gonna try to cover all the bases while I have her here. And you know, I gotta help my people out. You know, that's what I do around here. Ask Tammy is coming up later in the show. And this is where I give advice to you on your relationship drama, your work drama, or maybe it's a family issue. And today we'll hear from Keisha, whose boyfriend has been quarantining with his baby mama. Child, Keisha, I got some words for you. Also, later in the show, I'll share with you a power minute, because you know I like to use some encouraging, uplifting words to inspire you. But first, here's my unpopular opinion. Now, breakups and divorces happen every day. Every day. Somebody's breaking up and getting divorced. But I'm sure that most of you are not dealing with a split like the one I'm about to tell you about. Okay, the co-founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates, is one of the world's richest men. And he recently announced his divorce from his wife, Melinda Gates. Now, they have been married for 27 years. And the couple reportedly, allegedly, I don't know for sure, but I think this is true, did not have a prenup. And his net worth is estimated at $146 billion. If I knew that I had a pad on the floor, I would have passed out. $146 billion. But instead of a prenup, Bill and Melinda will be using a separation agreement to divide their assets. And People magazine is reporting that they plan to keep working together on their Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Plus, they have children together. So the real question is, should Melinda have had a prenup in place? Okay. And can divorced couples continue to work together after they break up? To that, I say this. Even if you had a prenup, y'all been married for 27 years. Now, Bill and me could have been married for 27 years, and he only had to give me $5 million. And I would have got on down the highway. But he worth $46 billion. So Melinda, without a prenup, she gonna leave with at least minimum, just at least a guarantee of at least $40 to $50 billion. No, she don't need no damn prenup. Do y'all know that a prenup works against the female in marriages? A prenup typically says what you came with is what you leave with, or I might give you a little something extra. The fact that she don't have a prenup, okay, works to her favor. 27 years of marriage. Even from a spousal, I'm educating y'all on this now, even from a spousal support standpoint, because spousal support women get is typically for half the life of the marriage. So 27 years, about 13, she could get spousal support for 13 years from somebody that's worth $146 billion. I done changed the number 3 times. I don't know. I said 156, then I said 136, and I said 146, because I don't remember, but it's over $100 billion. And that's all anybody needs to know. Okay. So she gonna walk away with about $50 billion. She didn't need no prenup. And can they work together? I'll be grinning my ass off. If I have $50 billion, I got divorced from Bill Gates and he gave me $50 billion. I'm coming grinning up in the foundation. Okay, I am kikiing all over the lunchroom in the foundation, trying to figure out how we gonna help some people, because y'all know I go home to 50 billion. Okay, so yeah, I think she gonna be all right, and they should be able to work together. Now, for the rest of us, you know, that's divorced and Tay-Tay and them, we not in that position. You probably would have needed a little prenup. And we probably can't work together when it's all said and done, because you're going to be acting like you don't even want to give me nothing for the kids. Y'all saw that episode I did, how the man, he paying $538 and he didn't want to pay that? Okay, so we probably going to be arguing. So no, we can't work together. But on to the next topic, because I can't talk no more about other people's billions. I'm trying to make my own. Can you ever live down a bad rap? That's the question that rapper Tory Lanez seems to be asking. Now, we all know last summer, right dead smack in the middle of hot girl summer, a situation happened and then life changed for all of us, right? The Tory and Meg debacle. But Tory Lanez wants to know, can he get past everything that happened that night when they left the party in the Hollywood Hills and then somebody allegedly had got shot in the foot? Okay. Can he get past the fact that Megan may have came out and accused him of assaulting her, and now he's currently facing charges in that case? Tory wants to know from all of us, can he please be allowed to move on? But all you people remember is the controversy. Tory tweeted, when I do something nice, it's genuinely out of the love of my heart and the pain I feel for people in need. I don't care about repairing an image that people tried to smear and couldn't. All I can do is play my part, and I am proud of the part I play. Are we being too hard on Tory for his issues in the past? I don't know. Because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, we didn't really get no information. It was all speculation. And I know all my hot girls is going to be like, well, she said he shot her, and that's all we need to know. Protect Black women. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all gonna drop down in the comments and give me all of that. But I can't protect you if you ain't trying to protect yourself. And Meg didn't really ever come out when all of this first hit. I'm talking about when all of it first hit, okay? Everything was in code. I to quote my friend, I had to pull out my Scooby decoder ring and try to figure out if I could decipher what was being said and what was happening. I had to go rewind the track and listen to the track 27,000 times to see what he said. I can't do all of that. So I'm just going to say, Tory, move on and stop talking about it. Because I tell you what we tired of is talking about it. So if you just go on with your life and do like mostly everybody else do, act like it didn't happen, we gonna forget about it too, and you'll be allowed to move on. That's all I got for you, Tory. That's all I got for you. The next topic is for the ladies. What is on your list of what you won't do in a relationship? And is that keeping you from getting or keeping a man? Now, everyone is different, and there are men and women who don't enjoy domestic chores like cooking, cleaning, and even doing your partner's laundry. But remember, there are plenty of people who may not like doing those things. However, they do them out of love and appreciation for their mate. So the question is, are you being picky or selfish if you avoid household chores for your significant other? Let me tell y'all something right now. And I feel like I have to always reiterate this point. When you're in a relationship, you're going to be doing a lot of stuff you don't want to do. That's just how it goes when two people try to become one. And when you recognize the things that your partner, that are make or breaks or deal breakers for your partner, and if you really want to be with this person, then you are going to compromise, because that is also an element when you talk about relationships and two legitimately and genuinely becoming one. Now, me personally, I am a little bit of a neat freak with a slight tinge of claustrophobia. The reason why I say slight tinge is because I don't like to feel like stuff is closing in on me. So if I walk in the house and I got to see your drawers and then your jeans and then your socks, now I feel like your attire is closing in on me and I can't handle it. So I am the type of person in a relationship, when you're in a relationship with me, you have to be tidy. That means putting your things where they belong. That means I work too much. I'm not going to do your laundry. My name is not Hazel. So you're going to have to do your own laundry. Okay. And when you married me, I couldn't cook. So I'm not going to be in the kitchen either. So, for my husband, he handles those things for himself. Not for me. He do it for himself. And I reap the benefits of that compromise. Because other than that, we couldn't live in the house together. And I want to be with my husband. So those are things that he had to adjust within his personality in order to be in a relationship with me. And that's what you guys have to do as well. You have to compromise. And if your partner wants you to cook or your partner wants you to do these things, you have to do them. I feel like, yes, make your partner happy. Now, how you can get around that, and Reggie, I don't know if he's going to see this episode, but he had asked me to cook. And I had said, now, Reg, you knew when you married me that I don't cook. But to please you, I'm going to cook. And I only make 10 things. Now, he's from Houston, so they like all that seasoning and, food is good in Houston. You could forget about quarantine. You could gain a Houston 15 at the drop of a hat. So I made what I know how to cook, but I didn't make it well. Okay. So when he tasted it, I saw his face. Okay. When his mouth turned up. And that man said, baby, this is good. I appreciate you for making this for me. And he sat through that nasty ass meal. Okay. But he ain't never asked me to cook again. That's how you get out of it. Go on, throw some stuff in the washing machine with some bleach, the colors, and see once he see his stuff is spotted up. He ain't gonna ask you to do that again. But other than that, yes, try to work with your partner and compromise and spread the love. And that's all I got for you. That's my unpopular opinion. Everybody ain't going to agree with it, but I'm going to give it anyway. I want to get to today's topic, and we're going to do that after the break. What is real life versus reality TV? Because sometimes people nowadays are getting this whole thing mixed up. Reality TV, when I started in 1993 with the Real World, it was real, our real lives. Nowadays, people are looking for their 15 minutes and trying to extend that an extra 10. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're talking to Monique Samuels, who's had her share of the real life versus the reality conversation, because she's formerly of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and I'll be talking to her next. This is Get Into It. I'm Tami Roman. Of course, you're at Fox Soul. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Get Into It with Tami Roman. If you want to see more Fox Soul content, please make sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel. And you have to be able, people, to press the notification button. Otherwise, you're not going to know when they've got new shows and new content up for you to see. Additionally, press that like button and drop down in the comments and let us know how you feel. Now, my guest today is best known as a beautiful, outspoken reality TV star, formerly on the Real Housewives of Potomac, and I watches that. Okay, I am an avid viewer of the Potomacs. Okay, and she was one of my favorites, but she's also a talented singer, writer, wife, and mother. And we all know she keep her receipts. A woman after my own heart. Okay. Please welcome Monique Samuels.
Thank you so much.
Now that was the intro, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm over here cracking up. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you. I'm a huge fan of
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're here because I'm like, I'm going to talk to Monique. But I know how it is when you on a TV show and you're trying to live your real life. And I hated to say in the intro formally of, because you were one of my favorites. And so I still wish you were on there, but now you're on to your real life and really the things that you have going on. Do you hate still talking about Potomac?
It was a part of my life for 4 years, so I really don't mind talking about it. I actually love referring to it in the past tense. I am so far removed from the whole situation, and I could not be more happy and more relieved.
Okay.
Very stress-free. So I don't mind talking about it. I'm just happy I don't have to move forward, and that whole chapter is done,
And it's done.
Yeah.
So you don't miss it at all?
I don't. Even when they started filming, the thought of trying to prepare my life for cameras with everything else that I have going on with my businesses I've been working on, I can't even imagine the whole tug of war, the stress of trying to find a sitter and making sure the kids are okay. Then my husband, so I feel relieved. I really feel good. I like that I'm back into control of my life and my schedule.
Yeah. When I watched, I felt like you were one of the ones who because other shows that are out there, sometimes people do things right when it's time for start a business or they start something so they can have something to talk about on the show, or they're doing things to bring attention to themselves because they know if they don't do that, nobody's gonna care that they even on the show. They're trying to get their extra 5 minutes. But I felt like you were one of the ones who really came and just was real from the moment you came on screen to the moment you decided to leave. How does it feel when you look out now at them? Do you sit back sometimes and go, you still fake?
I honestly haven't paid much attention to them lately. But I guess when I just think of how they were while I was there, I just know it's going to be a struggle for them because a lot of them don't really have anything going on. And they look forward to
friends with Karen no more?
Oh no, I still talk to Karen. Yeah, I still talk to Karen, and I still talk to Ashley. So yeah, we're still good. Okay. But we were the three that always came with genuine storyline. So I really felt bad that I'm passing the torch right to them. Like y'all got to hold it down now because I'm done. So Karen even said to me jokingly, she said, "You messed up the show." When I decided to leave.
You set that thing ablaze, baby. You had it in a binder. I said, I don't think I ever see nobody come with no binder.
Look, I had to come prepared because when you have women who want to do nothing but tell lies and spread lies and have nothing to back it, I said, oh, I don't spread lies. I spread truth. And I'm going to come with some backing for that truth.
So, of that truth. And you definitely did that. Do you regret, there was a moment, and then I'm gonna try to stop talking about that. But there was a moment on the reunion where you exposed another cast member's relationship or lack thereof. Did you feel bad about that once it actually happened?
I didn't. And the reason why I had a tug of war going on before going to reunion. And here's the thing, for 19 weeks, I watched this woman make false accusations about me and my marriage. And I'm like, for 19 weeks. So when people look at the reunion and how fast it happened, well, I just hit it with a 1-2 punch. She drug it out for 19 weeks. I had to watch the things that were coming out of her mouth. So when I got to the reunion, I did not feel bad, and I still don't, because she asked for it. I just returned her the energy that she gave me.
And I knew, having done reality TV myself, I can kind of see things that the average viewer they just don't process. But I knew from watching you, from how you came on the show and how you addressed things and how you dealt with things, I said a lot is going on behind the scenes that they're protecting someone and not showing it. And so it looks like she's just coming out of left field with this. And that wasn't even in your character to do so. So I knew that there was probably more to it than what we were being shown.
Yeah, even down to the third part of the reunion, there were certain things that were revealed even at the reunion. And there were cast members who admitted to it and they still protected them. And that ultimately was the reason why I left, because there was a lot that built up to it. But when they decided to show me and my husband respond in our own Instagram live to a person, Candace, who went live and actually threw all her friends under the bus about this whole plot. And they showed only me and Chris responding and tried to paint this picture as if my husband's some angry Black man. I was livid. I was like, how can you show our response but not show what we were
what you're responding to? Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Well, I have the utmost respect for you. I think you handled it, as far as I'm concerned, with style and grace, because I have fought people for far less. So I felt like you did it very well. Now, in honor of Mother's Day, I want to ask you, what women in your life have inspired you to become the woman that we all fell in love with on Potomac?
Thank you. I definitely have to say my mom. My mom is a boss in every sense of the word. I love her so much. I talk to her every day. She's my best friend. My grandmothers and my great grandmothers, because I grew up very close. I even knew my great great grandmother. She passed away when I was 8. So I have a very strong network of women right in my family who have literally, they paved the way for me. Everything I do, that is what they instilled in me. They always tell me to be who I am. You have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. And that's what I believe. And those are the same things that I'm instilling into my kids. So
I love that. Man, you don't know how blessed you are to know your great. I mean, how many people can actually say that? You know what I mean? That's such a blessing. I know that a lot of fans feel like they know you because they've watched you on Potomac. Do you feel like you gave us all of your real life?
I definitely gave you all of my real life. They just chose to show whatever they wanted to show, because there's so much that's missing. But I hope that when people watch me on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram or even looking at my website, that they will get the full picture of who I am. And that's one thing that I've been grateful for. I don't think a lot of people realize the power of social media. And I remember watching my first season and I'm just like, wait, that's not how that happened. That's not how I am. Right. And I made a mission to make sure that I show people the inner workings of my life, how I am with my husband and my children, my affection for animals. I have my T'Challa.
Yes, T'Challa, baby. Woo, T'Challa.
Yeah. So I hope that people who watch the full picture and see me, or even on social media, get to see the whole picture of who I am. And so far, it seems like everyone has a pretty good sense of who Monique Samuels is, when it comes to.
Yeah. And we tend to talk about the rough times, right? Or the run-ins, because those are the things that are so poignant and stick out to us and piss us off. Like, even with me, it's like, if you ask me about the show I used to be on, I'll be like, I can't stand, I talk about the bad stuff. But I'm sure you have memories of really amazing moments of fun that you genuinely enjoyed the ladies, right? What are some of those moments that maybe we didn't see on the show?
Yeah, well, I take it back to my very first season. The guards were down back then. My very first season, it was very just like we're all filling each other out. And I feel like that was when I had the most genuine moments with some of those ladies. For whatever reason, after that first season aired, it was just like the daggers were out for some of them. But definitely the first season, I remember we went to Ocean Prime in DC when they announced our date that we would be airing. And we all came together. Karen was the only one that didn't make it because she actually broke her ankle that night. Yeah, but Karen was the only one that didn't make it. But we all actually just came together, had dinner, and just celebrated. We're like, wow, let's make this a great show. And that was probably one of the only pure moments that I can think of.
Wow, really?
Yes, it has been rough ever since. I mean, on and off camera, it has been rough. So when people say, I'm sad that you left, now looking back, I can't believe I stayed as long as I did, because high stress. It was very high stress. And I really didn't get to appreciate how much stress it was until I walked away. And
Until
my husband was
away from it.
Yes, my husband looks at me now and he's like, I forgot how bubbly you were prior to the show because I had to be so guarded while I was on the show. And you go from filming right to watching the season, right to filming the reunion, back to filming. So you never truly get a break. And I'm a person who just enjoys positive energy. And I've never put myself in such a negative space before in my life until this happened. And this wasn't what I expected, you know? So yeah. But,
so what's the biggest misconception you think people have about you from appearing on Housewives of Potomac?
The biggest misconception, let me see. I think the only thing that I didn't like was the whole like bragging stuff, because a lot of people in my family didn't even understand or even know what Chris and I had until watching the show. So we were asked questions and then I'm answering the question and then I get called a bragger. And I'm like, I'm the most like, I'm not one of those people that, you know, everybody has to know if I'm giving something to someone or helping someone out. I do things all the time. I like to be under the radar. I like to remain anonymous in my giving. And that's just who I am. But everything else, as far as me going from 0 to 100, that's totally me. Sometimes I overreact. But I'm good enough to come back and say, yeah, I messed up. I apologize. Let's move on.
You're preaching to the choir on that. Now, is there anything that happened on the show? Like, I understand you said, I'm not a bragger, but I had to show these things because I was asked a question. Is there anything that happened on the show that you're happy we did get to see?
Oh, my family. I love the fact that I was able to share my pregnancy with Chase. I mean, the entire pregnancy, because I suffered a miscarriage right before him. And I remember it was my first reunion and I was supposed to come to the ladies and tell them the great news that Chris and I were pregnant. Well, 2 days before we taped that reunion, I began to miscarry. So I had to sit on that reunion couch and I didn't want to say anything about it because I just wasn't ready to express that, you know, what happened. That was so traumatic. But to be able to then go through a rough time trying to get pregnant again, and then finally being able to be pregnant, talking about the miscarriage, I think that was probably one of the greatest blessings because I didn't realize how common it was and how unspoken it was until I was able to share that story on national TV. And I think it helped a lot of people heal. It definitely helped me heal. I was holding on to hurt that I didn't even realize. And I was, man, I was very fearful going into my pregnancy with Chase. And I just got to the point where I said, you got to let the fear go and just embrace this baby. And I'm glad I did. So it was nice to be able to share that whole journey.
Oh, that makes me smile. You did launch your musical career with a hot video. Now, who inspired your track, Drag Queen?
Drag Queens. Well, listen, I'm going to put it to you like this. I knew that I needed closure and I'm a creative person. So I was like, I need to put this into a song and get all of this out and tell my side. And I knew that it was going to be a long season of me being questioned about a fight. And I said, I'm going to change this whole narrative. And now you can ask me about my song too. So that was my mindset. I said, this is closure for me. I made the title Drag Queens after I wrote the whole song. And I just said, this would be my little zinger that draws people in. Like, wait, what is she talking about? Drag Queens?
Yeah.
But the song really is just talking about my whole journey with just becoming who I am and why I stand up for myself the way I do. And the biggest takeaway was stand up to bullies. If you feel a person is bullying you, you need to stand up. Like, don't let anybody do that, corporate bullies or individuals. So,
ooh, I love it. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back and continue this chat with the Real Housewife of Potomac's, one of my favorites, Monique Samuels, when we return. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Into It. I am Tami Roman, and I'm excited about my guest that's here today. She holds all the receipts, in case you didn't know. And if you missed the top half of this interview, you missed some good stuff, because I am talking to Mrs. Monique Samuels, Hunty. Now, Monique and I have both been featured on reality shows starring Black women. Do you feel, Monique, that these shows properly portray us, or do they exploit our images and our culture?
Oh, it's definitely exploitation. Definitely. I mean, Black women are some of the most real, the most beautiful, the most open, the most big-hearted, the most forgiving. I mean, we have it all. We're the most appropriated. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be a show that shows the true Black excellence and how we actually come together and actually take each other in and under each other's wings and help each other.
Do you
Because
think people would really watch that, though?
they probably would not. There still can be drama, but there still can be sisterhood. And I think that's what's starting to lack in some of these different shows. I want to see women who know how to get through life's issues, but also know how to support each other when they're going through something versus, you know, if there's some scandal, oh, let me jump on a bandwagon and kick her down some more. I think that we need to be more representative of what goes on in life, in real life, which is if I have a sister that's hurting, I might talk to another friend about the whole situation, but then I'm still going to say, hey, what can I do to help you out? Not just like dog you out some more and try to further your embarrassment. So I feel
That's
like
how you would deal with something, right? So I feel like these shows sometimes, you know, we can't expect people to handle a situation the way we would handle it, right? So there is some truth to they're only showing what we give, right? And I think that where the manipulation comes in is based on the story they want to tell. It's like, yes, I did smack her in her face, but you didn't show what she did, how she threw the shoe across the table, and then I responded with the smack. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's where the manipulation comes in, but they're showing what we give them. So is it really, so then I go back to it, are they really exploiting us, or do we need to curtail the imagery that we're putting out?
yeah, I think we definitely need to curtail that as well. But when I'm talking about more so happens behind the scenes, what goes on, it kind of takes me back to even when you think in terms of slavery, how you had some of them in the house, and you had some of them in the field. Well, if you're massaging a person and you're giving only one person so much, that causes tension and friction amongst the whole group. When you keep trying to have one or two people who you pick and you put on a pedestal versus keeping everything equal behind the scenes, that causes drama. And then if a person keeps getting away with doing some really low down stuff, and you don't see the same repercussions happening for that person as other people, that's when you're now playing us against each other. And it only gets worse from there. So even though we may show what we really feel, and some things do get taken out of context, when you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, you just appear as this angry person and nobody knows the full story. It can be the audience and everything else.
So what I got from that is they be trying to act like Giselle shit don't stink.
All the time. All the time. And if you keep, like, for instance, I'll even give you some just like some real behind the scenes. Every time they do these different commercials, they are paying the housewives to do these commercials. That's extra
integration.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You know, put us on, you're actually putting our show on, but it should still be spread out. There should not only be one or two people from each show being pushed so much. There's other women. It takes 6, 7 women to make this show run, you know, for a reason. So spread the love, show everybody some equal opportunity, and let everybody else make some money too, you know? So
you didn't need no money, Monique. You the richest on the show.
I could still take a coin. Look, I ain't gonna turn it down. But it was like, for me, I would have to fight so hard all the time behind the scenes just to use my platform. I mean, I was getting turned down for interviews. I was being told by some people requesting me for press that, oh, I was told you weren't available, or they told me I couldn't interview you. So now you're giving me this platform that I'm supposed to be able to use, which I'm basically paying for, because the production cost of everything, you know, when it comes to putting on these parties, is coming out of my pocket. I should be able to at least use the platform. That's what we do it for.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
Now you're taking away the platform and you're restricting me in ways where I can't even promote what it is that I'm doing. So that's the part that I have an issue. And that happened to me personally. I can't speak for anybody else. Time and time again. I mean, even to the point where when I released my my song, I did a lyric video, and that was literally sabotaged.
Wow.
I mean, they stepped in and shut my whole release down and just completely ruined it. And I had to pick up the pieces and promote it the best way that I could on my own. But it's like they pick and choose what they want to call violent, or what they want to, you know, you'll show and you'll profit off of a fight for 19 weeks, showing it in every teaser, every snippet. Yes. But then I make a song, and when you listen to the lyrics, there was no violence in any of my lyrics. You'll take my song and try to put my song out of there and say, oh, well, we can't promote that because of this, that, or the other. It's very like one-sided, and it's just not fair. So that's why I'm gone.
No, I understand, respect, and receive that. I mean, that's why I eventually left, you know, the show that I was on. It's just like when the tide changes to where it doesn't feel like a fair, you know, space for all parties involved, then I don't have to stay, you know, in that type of environment. So I understood why you left. Now, a lot of people may think you left because in 2019, you had the little altercation with the other gal that's on the show. And she tried to, you know, like, I felt like she tried to get everybody on her side and turn them against you, and that there was some scuttlebutt they were going to ask you to leave. And so you tried to beat them to the punch. Is there any truth to that?
I will be 100% real with you and tell you, I thought that they were going to fire me. I was completely shocked when they offered me back. I was completely shocked. They gave me a phone call and they were like, we would love to have you back for season 6. And I was just quiet. And they were like, hello? Are you excited? I said, I honestly thought y'all were going to fire me. And they were laughing. They were like, why would you think that? I was like, that's what I thought. That's what I believed. And they were like, well, you don't sound upset that, you know, this phone call is happening if you expected to be fired. I said, because I pretty much said in my mind, whatever happens, happens. And I accept whatever comes my way. So I was actually excited to go ahead and try to, like, you know, go into season 6 and have a strong story and you know, just kind of like make up for what happened the prior season. But once that reunion got to airing and they were showing some things and not showing everything and it wasn't fair, I said, you know what? I am not going to fight not only the cast, but I'm not going to then fight production and the network. What's the point of me staying here? You know, so it just turned into a situation where I guess it was just destined. Either way, season 5 was my last year. I didn't know that it was going to be me walking away from it, but that was what it was. And I did not leave because of the fight. I left because of the unfairness and how they tried to portray my family in a very crazy situation that went down with some of the cast members who they knew played a part, along with some production. So it was a lot that went into it. And I'm a person like this. If I say, here's my line that I will not let you cross, that line is family, that line is my marriage. If you cross that, I'm done. What does that say of me if I stayed?
Right.
You know, so I was like, I'm out of here.
Understood. Can we see you doing any more reality TV in the future, or has this totally turned you off to the genre?
I will say I have a little PTSD from reality TV.
I know, girl.
If the situation is right, and if it was a show that was more family centered, I think I'd be open to it. As far as an ensemble goes, I really don't know. It would have to be the right situation, and I would have to feel a little bit more comfortable with the process when it comes to production, because I won't put myself in that type of a situation ever again.
Now, what inspired you to come with this book of receipts, though? Like, you sat at home and you just said, you know, I'm gonna just put it all together and make sure that it's together. Because you could sell that book of receipts. Did you know that you could probably put all those receipts on some other papers and make a book about these receipts? I feel like there's a money-making opportunity there.
You know what I did? I actually have a 3-part series on my YouTube channel, Tea with Monique. It's called Binder Time Stories.
I love it.
Yes. So I'm giving a riddle, and I'm telling you tidbits of what is in my, but I'm not telling you who it was about. You got to crack the riddle and figure it out yourself.
Binder Time Stories is over on Monique Samuels YouTube. Y'all better get on over there because tea is spilled. Now, what is your YouTube channel? What's the name?
It's called Tea with Monique.
Tea with Monique. So all y'all people out there that's nosy like me, because I'm sure gonna go on over to Tea with Monique and subscribe. Okay. I'm gonna be right there too to get in on these Binder Time stories. But I did want to ask you one last thing before you go. The businesswoman side of you. I felt like, and I already know why, but I want you to give the people an opportunity to understand that we didn't see enough of the businesses that you have going on the show. So right here, right now, I don't even want to know why they didn't want to show it. I just want to know, what is Monique doing? What businesses do you have? And how can people reach you and support you?
Yes. So I started a parenting community 7 years ago, and it's called Not for Lazy Moms. And that was actually what triggered me to even join the show, was to boost this platform that I started so many years ago. We talk about maintaining each other, like maintaining ourselves and our family, natural alternatives, lifestyle tips. And it's all about sharing. I feel like when I became a mom, even though I had women around me that shared a lot, they didn't share enough. So I want all women and all parents in general, all men, whoever's out there, to know that you're not alone. We all share the same struggle, and let's put it out there and let's share our story. That turned into a Not for Lazy Moms podcast, which we just ended our 3rd season. We talk about everything from generational wealth and how to maintain it, how to create it, finances, parenting, love, everything. So that was one venture that I actually shared on the show. And then that turned into me starting my own essential oils line, Mila Eve Essentials, which I'm very proud about. It has taken off beyond my expectations, and it's been amazing. I mean, I launched in December 15th. I've not had a day without a sale. God is good. It's been amazing, but I'm selling these essential oils that are 100% pure, chemical free, therapeutic. And people know I talk about essential oils all the time. So when you come to Mila Eve Essentials, you're getting top of the line quality for a fraction of the cost.
And where can they purchase that?
They can actually go to shopmilaeve.com. If you go to notforlazymoms.com, it has a segue to lead you to Mila Eve Essentials. And if you forget all of that, MoniqueSamuels.com, you can find everything I'm dealing with right there.
There it is. That's the one. That's the one. MoniqueSamuels.com. And you guys can find everything Monique that she's got going on. I'm going to head on over there and get me some Mila Eve essential oils, because I'm all into that too. But before we let you go, Monique, I like to do something around here called Tammy's Fast 5. And what that is I'll ask you 5 questions. You just answer them with the first thing that comes to your mind. You ready?
All right.
Okay. What's your go-to stress relief?
Oh, mind over matter. It's an essential oil. I put it on my forehead and the back of my neck.
Okay, mind over matter, y'all. It's an essential oil over at Mila Eve. Y'all got to go check it out. Stress reliever. What's the one thing you've done as an adult that you swore you would never do?
Oh man, have kids.
Ding, ding, ding. Do you sleep in silk, in cotton, or in the nude?
It's either silk or cotton. I go back and forth.
Okay. What did you learn the most about yourself on reality TV?
Oh man, I talk a lot.
Oh God. Okay. And what do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
Having a multi-million-dollar corporation with a whole building with a bunch of rooms for other buildings and other. Look, I'm gonna have a whole darn collection of property. I'm gonna take my real estate to more land and commercial real estate. I'm gonna be leasing out buildings for other businesses, and I'm gonna have Mila Eve Essentials headquarters right there.
Into existence. One last one. Do you like Wendy Udafeso?
She all right.
slip that in there for the tea drinkers of the world. You heard her. She said she aight. Okay. Special thanks to Monique Samuels for joining me today. I truly appreciate you. I know the soulmates love you, so they're happy that you stopped by today. I really enjoyed this conversation about how reality stars have real lives and real feelings behind the scenes. So thank you for being very transparent about that. How can people keep up with you on social media?
I'm on Instagram at Mrs. Monique Samuels, and on Twitter, I am Mrs. Samuels, and Monique Samuels on Facebook. And
MoniqueSamuels.com. Stick around if you've got questions. I've got answers. Ask Tammy is up next on Fox Soul. Welcome back to Get Into It. I'm Tami Roman, and you know what time it is. It is time for Ask Tammy. Now, this is where you send me a short video. Let me repeat that. Send video. Those are the two key words in that sentence. Send video. So that we can discuss your relationship issue, or if you'd like some advice about anything deal in your life, I am the person to help you navigate through certain things. So this week, some of y'all slid into my DMs and hit me with a couple of questions. Here's what y'all had to say. Keisha hit me in the DMs and said, "Dear Tammy, my boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years and we have a 1-year-old. When quarantine hit, he said he needed to quarantine with his mom because she had health issues. It's been a year and he hasn't been spending time with us. And I noticed through social media that his baby mama and their 2 kids were quarantining with them as well. Should I feel some type of way?" Now, before I answer this question, I just have to ask, is this what happened last year to a lot of y'all? Okay. Did people conveniently quarantine with the folks they wanted to be with? Or did they use quarantine as an excuse to get away from someone? A la you, Keisha. You got to send me some of those stories next week, but I'm going to go ahead on and try to answer and give you my thoughts about Keisha and her man and them. Okay. Keisha, when he said he was quarantining with his mama, you should have knew that was some BS. Because most men going back home to mama, they know it's going. You're locked in the house with your mama. They ain't done that for a long time. So when he said mama, you should have knew that was a lie. And then when he didn't ask you to come with your 1-year-old son with him to mamas, you should have knew that he was using quarantine to get away from you. And I would take my cues accordingly and learn how to govern myself. If you're online, and see, social media is getting a lot of y'all in trouble because you feel like we entitled to know y'all business. Now, if he had just stayed in the house with mama and the other baby mama and the 2 kids and never put up no pictures or nothing, Keisha wouldn't even have this question. Keisha would have still been believing that lie that you told her that you was with your mama. But you posted it on social media. So now you are fully aware. This isn't somebody told you. This isn't you heard. This isn't you guessing. You know that he is out at his mama's house with the other baby mama, which means you are on the outside looking in. And that's exactly where you need to stay. When he tries to come back with that late night activity or late night booty call or late night, "Keisha, you know I need to see you," or "Keisha, why are you acting like this?" You need to say, "Sir, I am not going to be a doormat for you." You know what a doormat represents? That thing you step over every time you're trying to go into the house. You're not going to be that. He's not going to wipe his feet out on you, step on you, disrespect you, disgrace you, treat you like dirt, and then still be allowed in your house. You're not a doormat, Keisha. Let him be with the other baby mama and the kids. And then tell him that you guys need to have an amicable relationship to handle the dealings with your son, but you're no longer interested in anything else. See, that's how I do around here. That's how I do, okay? I'll be giving y'all the gems and the wisdom. Now, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. Keisha, I'd like you to take a sip, but I can't guarantee that you will. But if you got a problem with your family, your business, your relationship, you need some advice, I am your girl, okay? All you have to do is send me a 1 to 2 minute video and email it to asktammy@foxsoul.tv, and I'll try to give you what I got, because I'm covered by the blood and I extend it to people. Okay, all this wisdom that's inside of me, I'm extending it to you. Now, up next, if you are feeling discouraged and you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, well, I know somebody who got something they want to say, and it's coming up next in the Power Minute.
Some of your day ones been hating on you since day 2. If these people are always got something negative to say, they always got something to put you down, they always ain't got time for you, them ain't your friends.
Okay, Karamo Brown from Queer Eye, as well as my real world brethren. He dropped a word on us. Listen, thank you for rocking with me today, and a special thanks to Monique Samuels for stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow, and we will get into it with our special guest, Elise Neal, as she joins our conversation on maintaining your values and morals in Hollywood. You don't want to miss that. Have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay tuned, because Book of Sean is coming up next.